Ria Bond.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Communications. Does she have confidence that all New Zealanders have ready access to the 111 emergency call service? If so, why?
Mr. Speaker,
the Honourable Amy Adams.
Mr. Speaker, I have confidence that the system is working as intended, as anyone with a landline or usable mobile connection is able to access the service free of charge 24/7, and call answering targets are not only met but significantly exceeded.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Ria Bond.
How can the government be meeting its Kiwi share obligations given Spark must answer 111 calls, yet there's no obligation or timescale on this government to end mobile black spots in rural New Zealand?
The Honourable Amy Adams.
Well, Mr Speaker, mobile black spots is drifting quite a long way wide of 111 calling, but I can assure that member that this government has actually invested nearly $450 million in mobile rural connectivity, and that means that we now have coverage to more than 97% of New Zealanders. We've just announced another $50 million into mobile black spots, and I'm just proud to be part of a government that's doing something about it after years of neglect under parties including that members.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Ria Bond.
When will she prioritise areas of rural New Zealand, such as Mortito in Northland and Wyndham in Southland, who have no stable mobile coverage, as evidenced when I personally tried to save the life of Mortito on the 24th of October and could not gain easily access to 111 services?
Too long. The Honourable Amy Adams.
Mr Speaker, well, we prioritised rural connectivity on the 8th of November 2008 and have been doing so ever since, which is why this government has spent $450 million improving connectivity, while we now have rural mobile coverage to 97% of where New Zealanders live and work, and while we're now spending another $50 million to further enhance mobile black spot coverage in New Zealand. But it is true that not every single part of New Zealand will be covered. We have an incredibly vast mountainous country, including vast ranges of very unexplored and undeveloped areas, and people going into those areas, I think, have an expectation that they won't get mobile coverage. But I can say to that member, 97% of mobile coverage, I think, is a very, very good position to be in.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Ria Bond.
In light of her answer, is she concerned enough to prioritise alternative infrastructure technology for rural communities to save rural lives? If not, why not?
The Honourable Amy Adams.
Well, Mr Speaker, as I said at the outset, anyone with a landline, anyone with a mobile phone is able to access 111, and if you're leaving areas of accepted mobile coverage, it's recommended that people carry alternate means of communication like satellite phones in the right of the high country. But 97% mobile coverage is significant. It's better than it has ever been before, and yet this government is still investing further money in it, and it's pretty rich for parties who've never done anything to advance it and never supported what this government is doing to try and now criticise it.
Point of order.
Point of order. Richard Prosser.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, I seek your clarification on an issue that occurred earlier during question time with regards to member taking offence and requiring or requesting that words.
Where's the member referring to?
It's Standing Order 119, and my question, sir, is what criteria are used by yourself in determining whether the House has taken offence, because there appears to be some ambiguity between Standing Order 119 and Speaker's Ruling 61(1).
Order. I can assist the member. I determined, judging by the order of the House at the time, the context of when the remarks made, in this particular case, I was conscious that the Prime Minister had said that he had information from an Australian politician, I think from the Australian Prime Minister, etc., stating that a number of these people who are detained are there for very serious crimes. That influenced the decision I gave earlier. But what the member's doing now is simply taking an opportunity at this stage to relitigate a decision that I've made earlier. That in itself leads to disorder. Question number 11, Matt Ducey.